how to manifest money without actually having to work for it. Sound interesting, right? Hello and welcome back to the Mindful Shift podcast. I'm Leopoldine and I'm excited to have you here with me once again. If you're new here, welcome, and I'm excited that you are joining our tribe. Don't forget to subscribe. This podcast is designed to empower you and help you create your best life. Alright, let's jump in today's topic. And I want to start by sharing a quick personal success story with you, Bestie. A few years ago, I really wanted to take a course. It was, I think, a course about communication, to be honest. But the thing is, at that time, I didn't have the extra cash to buy the course. Well, I decided at that moment to think that and to assume that I already have the money, that I will be having the course by the end of the day. And the sales for this course were closing by the end of that same day. And guess what? Just a few hours later, and I kept thinking this, my dad called me out of the blue and offered me money. I didn't even have to ask. And he even sent me more than what I needed. At that time, I wasn't even using law of assumption. I didn't know about it, but I was manifesting and I knew about manifestation since years before. And somehow, intuitively, I knew I had manifested this by thinking it was already done. And honestly, this is such an amazing proof and also reminder that our thoughts create our reality. You know what's amazing? It's actually super simple to manifest money, or actually anything you want, by the way. Just don't put any of your desire on a pedestal. You are on the pedestal because you are the creator of your reality anyway. Stop making art for yourself, please. Stop it. You just have to think that you can make quick cash without even have to work for it. That's it. That's all there is to it. But of course, when you end up putting condition on how to manifest something, and that's available for money here, you end up deciding, and there is nothing wrong with that, but you do limit some of the ways it can show up in your life. It's what we call specific manifestation, and that works too, honestly. You can control as much as you want your manifestation, though most of the time, honestly, it's more important to relieve the stress of how it will happen and stay open how unexpected it can happen. But you do you, this is your reality, this is your word, so literally do as you see fit. And like I said, since you're the one making the rules and the reality you create for yourself, then this is totally possible anyway, just like I showed with my own personal success. The trick is to really think you can manifest money effortlessly and easily as anything else. Just keep telling yourself that you are someone that can manifest money without grinning for it, and hold on to that thought no matter what. How you can even just tell yourself that you already have all the money you ever need. That's it. That being said, usually there is kind of two pathways when we want to manifest money. Either you really want to manifest money and that's what you will focus on because this is really what you desire, or you actually want to manifest money because you desire something you can buy with it. And honestly, if it's the second case, there is an easier road here. Instead of manifesting money, unless that's what you really want, and again, there is nothing wrong with that, focus on what you want actually in life. Like, think about it. When you focus on what you really desire, you can feel sometimes, especially at first, feeling excited and happy, right? And while feelings don't manifest, for some of you, it can help to feel what it could be to have that thing already. So, like I said, in some cases, you don't need to manifest money specifically to have what you want, but directly manifesting what you want being yours, period. And honestly, there is nothing wrong with wanting to manifest money. Like I said again, you can also manifest that. It is what you want. Please manifest money, because this is the subject of today's podcast as well. Like, if you really want money and being rich or just have a certain amount of money, then please do so, and we will talk about that as well. But if you want to have money to buy something specific, then please just focus on what you want specifically. You don't need to have money for it. Maybe you will receive money for it, but maybe you will have it another way. Don't forget, manifestation is always perfect. You just have to focus on what you want. That's it. So if your goal is to travel all around the world all the time, or to write a book, or have that mansion you always dreamed about, that's exactly where you should direct your thoughts, not on the money specifically. It's really all about focusing your consistent thoughts on what you desire, the things that really matter to you. And you just make sure that when you visualize, affirm, do a conversation in your head, or even journal, you think that your desires is already yours right now. The only tricky part is really to shut down that tiny little voice, that logical voice that you've been hearing all around you all your life, that it's impossible to have money without working hard for it. But honestly, you don't need to know how it will happen. You can decide it for yourself if it makes you feel better, and if it's something you want to manifest specifically, that's totally fine. But honestly, you don't have to. You don't have to focus on how it will happen, because most of the time, this isn't your job unless you decide it is. You just keep your focus on what you want being already yours, and you know that every opportunity will come to you anyway, because it has no choice but to prove you're right. It has no choice but to prove you're right because you think so. And I want to give you another example, completely different about money, another success story of mine. And for some of you, it might seem really little or oddly natural, like, duh, of course it will happen. And that's exactly what I thought as well. But that's honestly a manifestation, because everything around us is a manifestation and a creation of our thoughts anyway. And of course it will be natural. It's always like this when you manifest. So my example for my success story is I received an unexpected bill. Well, to be honest, it was more like a law thing. I don't have the translation in English, but it was because of a medical analysis I did. And the paper said that I received a warning before, which I absolutely hadn't. That was the first letter I received. Anyway, it was entirely unexpected, and it was about a medical act. And instead of freaking out for nothing, like, how am I going to handle this? This always happens to me. I need to pay this. This wasn't expected. I don't have the money, blah, blah, blah. Even if I was confused and upset, I decided that it was a mistake, that I would have to pay nothing. And stubbornly, for a few minutes, like 10 to 20 minutes, I repeated myself, it's a mistake. I don't have to pay anything. Everything is always perfect in my life. And once I felt calmer and more at peace, I called the laboratory that was implied in this letter. And guess what? They told me it was actually a mistake from the doctor office, that they forgot to send a paper. And once I will send that paper, I won't pay anything at all. This was all forgotten because it was all handled anyway. I just needed to send the paper by mail, period. And really, that's an amazing example that you can decide what will happen and that our thought creates, but also that you don't have to decide everything about your manifestation. You don't really have to decide about how it will happen entirely. Like, I created that it was a mistake because for me it was easing my feeling of frustration. In the end, I didn't decide how it will be resolved and how I wouldn't pay, right? And that's also a reminder that we have to correct ourselves, to not worry about how it is impossible for us or how it will never happen for us. It is way more important to correct ourselves directly or prevent ourselves directly and decide what we actually want as a result, and for it to be already here and prove us right. When you focus your thoughts on your current goals or your current step, that's where the magic happens. And most of the time, money is just part of the journey to get what you want. So keep your thoughts disciplined on what you really desire and know that it has no choice but to show up. You are on the pedestal, not your desire. Think about your best life for a moment. Is being rich being a part of your best life? Then go for it. Affirm, visualize, journal, conversation for that specific goal. I'm so rich. I've always been rich. Of course I'm rich. Money is so easy for me. I always have money anyway. Or perhaps you want even to earn X amount of money every month. I always receive X amount of money every month. I always get that money every month. I'm always paid that every month anyway, no matter what. I'm literally paid for being me. Or you can even picture the amazing trip you want to take, the beautiful car you always dream of buying, or even the life of a successful published author. That's where you need to direct your attention and thoughts. Tap into those thoughts that will make you feel as if you already have it, and perhaps even excited or happy or joyful about it. But no matter what, mainly focus your attention and thoughts on what you want being already yours, as if you already have what you want, and act if you feel inspired to or if you need to. That's it for me, bestie. Thank you for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this, and I know you did, give the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would love also to hear your thoughts about the subject, so please drop a comment below, and also if you have any questions, feel free to drop them. Have an amazing week ahead, and remember, it's not the end until you get what you want. Talk to you soon. Bye!